Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man Donovan Sadiq in the building, the Queen, Demetra K, and I am the Pop General. Say this black on black crime is for a lot of different reasons, but a lot of it is about the lack of money. When you ain't got no money, you're going to get the money from anywhere you can get it. So we got the money man in the building, and we going to talk about it tonight. Let's go. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you. First thing we need to do, we need to share this video because we're going to have a real serious conversation tonight. And I want you to be able to get this out as much as possible. I want to tell y'all, I say I'm one of the greatest to ever grace a microphone. One of the greatest to ever do it, man. And when I go in the lab, even with a legend, I don't take no chance. We went in the lab last night and we did the song, Make 'Em Mad. And I'm going to tell you something, it's on fire. K Reno, man, thank you so much. It's an honor to be able to work with you, my friend. And but I'm going to tell you something, man. We brought that heat, so I can't wait until the video shoot on June the 12th. I'm going to start this off, and Donovan, let's squash the news for tonight. Joe Biden is just being Joe Biden. That's all it boils down to. He's still on the plantation, and he still got the Negroes in the field. I saw something today that broke my heart. I've been gone from Houston for a while, and I saw a young man get murdered in South Lawn. Now, what did he do to get murdered? The only thing he did was try to break up a fight. He just tried to break up a fight, stop two girls from fighting. I don't have to do no talking. I'll show you better than I can tell you. This is graphic, and you might need to sit back. You don't need no kids to see this. So take the kids out the room, and let's get to it. You tell me what's on your heart and what's on your mind.
Oh, I think I got it. He stepped that nigga.
Video wasn't that long. The video actually was not that long. Hold on a second. Let me get it off here. And the thing is, hold on a second. It's still playing for some reason. All right, there we go. But it was impactful to me. It broke my heart. This is one of the neighborhoods that I grew up in. I mean, I didn't grow up in South Lawn. I grew up around South Lawn. Grew up on Seabrook Street, right down the street. And I immediately called the chief of police. I'm tired of this. Mr. Mayor, if you're watching or if any of your people are watching, me, Dr. Muhammad, Reginald Gordon gave y'all a 21-page plan almost 3 years ago on how to slow down street violence and how to slow down gun violence. You refused to institute the plan because you don't like the fact that I hold you accountable. But my people are down in these trenches, just trying to survive every day. That young man didn't deserve to die because all he did was try to break up a fight. Now, next Saturday, I was supposed to go out to the Westbury area because I got gifted with something today. And I'm going, I called Dr. Muhammad and I said, I'm not going to Westbury. He said, where you going? I'm going to South Lawn. I need to go into the belly of the beast. I need to go amongst my people. It's time for us to talk. See, and y'all bear with me for a second, D and Walter and Donovan. You can keep your grant money. We know how to do the work. And we going down there next Saturday. And I'm going to give away $20,000 worth of free clothes to everybody that wants it until it's gone. And I'm not talking about no BS. I'm talking about some good stuff. $20,000 worth of free clothes. And I'm going to give it away because these kids deserve everything that they should get. But I am sick of you people that clearly do not get it, that this violence does not have to exist in our neighborhoods. You're not doing anything to stop it. You running around here, you know, and I got to say this, you running around here exploiting George Floyd's name all over the damn country, even the city of Houston. You marching with your little marches, your little fake marches and all this here. Why don't you march your ass on over the South Lawn next week? Won't you do that? But you ain't going to do that because that ain't political enough for you. So the soldiers going in there next week, we going to take care of our people because they've been traumatized. There's some folks over there saw that. There's some babies that saw that that's been traumatized. That's next door to Cullen Middle School. You feel what I'm saying? And I went to Cullen Middle School. I got love for my peoples down there. The OG is coming, and it's time for us to have a talk because this is too close to the schools, and this is something that we cannot keep dealing with. Now, how can we center all this around what Walter normally talks about, which is money? He gonna go into that. But Donovan and Demetri, tell me how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, it's very. I really don't have words for it because I think, unfortunately, in this society, this day and age, I guess we should say, we are numb to that kind of stuff. And it's sad because we shouldn't be numb to that, you know, because had that been like maybe 5-10 years ago, I think we would, you know, remember back in the day when we would watch The Faces of Death and we were horrified, right? But we're not that way anymore, you know, and I covered stories for the African Diaspora News channel every day. And unfortunately, I cover stuff like this. And I don't want to say I'm numb, but it's just like it's becoming every day. And I think that's where the problem is. I think the problem is that it's every day. And we're just like, oh, you know, that's sad. But what do y'all want for dinner tonight? You know, like we're not, as a people, and I think as a society, we're not moved anymore. And we should be moved. And what is very telling about that is the people that were there. The people who were around there, I mean, filming it and just, it was just weird. I can't even describe the atmosphere. Like the dude just casually walked up to the door, did what he did, and then felt compelled. I guess he robbed the guy afterwards. Is that what he did? Felt compelled to rob him.
He ran through his pockets.
Yeah, he didn't even feel like somebody was going to come like gaffle him up or any of that. So that I think that's what needs to be addressed. Why are we now so numb to broad daylight murder?
In that community, there was a situation a few years back, and it's a gang-infested community where they wanted to put a gang injunction on that neighborhood, as well as some other parts of the neighborhood. And you had every Negro pastor in the area go and say, no, we don't need to do that. And no. And Gary Monroe stood at the podium in front of city council and told them, say, man, you need to do it because it's out of control. And I also told them, and somebody reminded me, they say, man, you remember when you stood in front of city council and told them if they don't do nothing about this violence, this place going to turn into Chicago? You whooping Chicago's ass right now in murders. You whooping Chicago's ass right now in murders. So I want to answer tonight. And Tanaya, hold on, because I keep forgetting I don't have a touch screen anymore. What about holding Black people in that community accountable? Did you listen to the response in the video? Oh, I don't have a problem holding Black people accountable. But the city of Houston has dropped the ball. They know what's going on over there. They know what it is. It's been that way for damn near 30 years. They know. But they will not do anything about it. That kid did not have to die. That's just the way that I feel.
You
but
know
I'm
what
like you,
like?
we get numb to this shit.
You know what it sounds like? If that has been going on for 30 years and the city of Houston knows about it, it sounds like a city-sanctioned genocide. That's what it is.
You know, as somebody who's been in a combat zone several times, what you just saw there was the community okay, I understand what Tanaya is saying, but how do you hold a community responsible for what they're doing when you have one or two generations that have been raised in an environment where that's normal? That's why aren't we saying anything? And I'm kind of relating this to the Palestinians in Israel. For over 60 years, the Palestinians have been in a constant state of apartheid and warlike situations, just like Black people, right? How can you tell generations in that 60-year period, you should act different, you should react different? They're not going to react different. They're going to react according to their environment. There was a movie, what was it called, Allegiant and stuff like that, where they had that like homogeneous society and they were in this bubble and stuff. That's what's going on in our communities. I mean, for that young man to walk up like, hey, I'm gonna go pick up some donuts, I'm gonna shoot this person, the adults or the people that are around were just like, damn. That was their reaction. Damn. Nobody, I mean, I'm sure some people, ran away. I saw a lot of people running away, but, there's no like ducking for cover or going to get the shooter or whatever. It was like, well, hey, it's just another day. That is by design. That is by design. You can't deny that. And if it's been going on for over 30 years, just like Demetra said, that is a design situation. And these people are under a form of PTSD in its worst form.
They know. And that's the thing that kills me, that they do know what's going on. Every city council person that has ever held that seat in the last 30 years knows what goes on down there. Every mayor knows what goes on down there. But you know what's so amazing? Even without any funding, we were able to go down there and squash the beefs for over 8 months. No shootings at all. But you will not work with us. And you won't work with us because I hold you accountable. And that's sad that you would allow this city to go to hell like that. And that's just one place. Oh, I can name 9 or 10 of them like that. And they won't do anything. Oh, well, they'll say, well, we got so-and-so reverend or bishop so-and-so. They're going to work on this. They're going to man this committee, and they're going to. And here's the thing. What we needed were resources down there. They allocated over $1 million. We still haven't figured out who they gave the $1 million to, because it didn't go to the community. See, they agreed to put the guns down if we could help them find a job, if we could create a computer center in that place. Those are the things that we wanted to do, to help them get a TWIC card to go offshore. But the money that was allocated came up missing, and we ain't never been able to do what we said we were going to do. Now, so many times you can go down there and play with them gangsters before you start having a problem, because they're going to feel like you're lying to them. But they agreed to let all of it go, man. Now, the city is just as much at fault as the natives are. Walter, in a community like that, that's poverty-stricken, don't look like they have no daylight. Don't look like nothing's going to be good for them. They don't have no money to buy the bubble houses or the Airbnbs. What could they do to increase their wealth? Maybe if it's just minimal, to try and help them better that situation.
You want that answer tonight? All right. As you can see, I'm taking notes. One, I can tell you, I have a bunch of answers to that question, but the first thing I think is self-esteem. When you build somebody up, when they see themselves better, they treat them and the people around them better. I mean, we as Black people just need to start treating ourselves better. Like, here's a question I had. Like, one, why are we still asking for help? And Gary, I understand your point. Yeah, people are donating money, and it's not getting to the source. It's never going to get to the source. You have people that understand finance better than the people that are supposed to get the money, and they're getting the money and doing stuff with it. And it's always going to be that way until Black people make money a priority. It's going to be that way. And I said it months ago, it's going to get worse for Black people. The shit y'all seeing right now is just the beginning. You watch. Black people, you got the president you wanted. The dominoes are just falling. Like, you watch and see what happens. So we need to work on our self-esteem. And I keep telling people, when you're getting your stuff together, your self-esteem grows. You don't have to have a bunch of money in the bank, but what if you just have enough money in the bank so when you get paid and you pay all your bills, you got a little money sitting over there. And then you do it again and again. The problem with it, tonight I'm just going to talk about Black people. We just, for whatever reason, it don't click to us. Like, when I talk to Black people about money, they just glaze over. Glaze. I could do the moonwalk in some first series Air Jordans and I have more attention. And I don't, and so our self-esteem, until we start putting some money away. When I talk to Black people, they just glaze over. I'm like, do you know about stocks, bonds? Do you know about real estate? They don't want to hear that. And we're going to be continued. It's going to continue that we get murdered. And the white man don't need to do anything else from here. The damage is done and we just keep doing the job. Like, think about this. You can walk into a neighborhood, shoot somebody. Somebody will videotape it. How numb do you have to be to videotape a murder? Like, first of all, if I saw a weapon, I would have been 10 miles away before he pulled the first trigger. And the crazy part is, everybody, they're used to it. So we need to work on our self-esteem, number one. Two, where in the hell is Black Lives Matter? Where are the protests? I guarantee they're not protesting now. Black people, we need to deal with the real issue. It's not the white man anymore. It's not them. They're doing this shit from the high above, but we don't even never get to their level. We keep killing each other. And like all these like protests, like we'll burn down a Target when a cop shoot a Black kid. But when a Black kid shoot a Black kid, we're nowhere to be found. It makes me madder to see a Black kid kill a Black kid than a cop kill a Black kid. But where's the outrage? I can turn on my TV right now. Ain't no protests. None of that shit. So Black people, the problem is us. We forever lose the right to blame shit on white people. Period. We can't blame it on the Asians or anyone else. It's us. And until we do something about it, and we know what we need to do, go in there and snatch that dude, and he should just be missing. And I guarantee you, every time we kill one another, and that dude end up missing, the killings will stop. I guarantee you. But we won't do it. But we'll kill each other. That dude will get 5-10 years. They ain't got room for him, coronavirus. He ain't gonna be in jail long. He gonna get out and do it again. When we start being accountable for our people, that's when it's gonna change. And miss me with the pastor stuff. The pastors aren't, no, I'm talking about some of the pastors. They need fear to make it work, right? Because otherwise, if you fix the community, Gary, and you send in the gang task force and the neighborhood is cool, then the ministers down there, the ones that doing what they do, don't have a purpose anymore because people aren't in fear anymore. You can walk out. Can you imagine living in a neighborhood where you can't even walk down the street? That's insane. And you guys, me and my sister, we spent our summers in South Central LA. Anyways, let's get that. So we should be mad about us killing each other. That's the real crime here. I'm not worried about a cop pulling me over and killing me. Yeah, is it a possibility? Yes, but you know what's a bigger possibility? Me getting shot by one of my own people. My chance of being murdered by a black dude than a cop is way higher. And until we start dealing with that, then we have to deal with it. I tell you, I live in the Inland Empire in California, and half of the brothers I see and I say, what's up to, hello, don't even look at me. Don't even speak. Nigga, what's up? Looking at me crazy. Drills, I can wave at 200 cops and 199 of them will wave back and say, what's up? They treat us better than we treat ourselves. And so when we start treating ourselves better, they'll start treating us better. We need, like Chris Rock said, when I go to the ATM, I'm not worried about the police. I'm worried about niggas. So when we start acting like that, then the shit will get better. There's no other fix for it. And it is going to get worse for us. Watch.
I want to just walk it back a little bit, what you said about when people like the shooter do things like that. Because if you really think about it, I'm sure somebody recognized him, right? But he did what he did. Like, well, who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna turn me in? Like, I'm gonna kill this guy and I'm gonna dig in his pockets and I'm gonna leave. Like, nobody's gonna do so. I want to touch upon what he said in regards to when people like that in the neighborhood get loose. It should be dealt with by the neighborhood. There should be neighborhood justice. And that reminds me, you guys have probably seen it, a movie with Lawrence Fishburne in it called Always Outnumbered, Always Outgunned, I think it was, where they did some vigilante justice on a dude that was wilding in the neighborhood. But that's what the men used to do. There was no, well, we gonna call the police. They was like, oh, Jimbo done did what? Okay, mount up. Let's go see about him. But we don't have that anymore. And so you got the shooter that's terrorizing because he terrorized the neighborhood is what he did. And so I guess I just want you guys' opinion on that. Like, what do we need to do to get back to that?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that we got a black on black problem. Like Walter say, when that happens, there is no marches. There is no politicians that want to stand in front of podiums and denounce something. They don't denounce it. They play games. We have to acknowledge the first thing that we have a problem. You know, it took one kid getting murdered in River Oaks for the city of Houston to finally admit that they had a gang problem. And they've been having a gang problem for over 5 years, 5 to 6 to 7 years. But it took one kid to get murdered in a predominantly white neighborhood for Houston to say we have a gang problem. We have a serious problem with black on black. They can't get to the money Walter talking about. You see what I'm saying? Because there's too many obstacles in their way. You had kids that saw this that will grow up thinking, well, shit, if he did it, I can get away with it. Yeah. They ain't thinking about getting to the money. And then, you know, vigilante justice, I get it with y'all, but remember, this is a gang-infested neighborhood. So all you finna do is create a gang war. And that's something that the school system can be proud of. Because when you close the middle school down in 3rd Ward, you force those kids to go over the bridge into another neighborhood. And that created the 103 gangs. That created the YSB gangs. You see what I'm saying? That created the problem. Because prior to that, we didn't have a gang problem. So to get to the money that Walter is talking about, we have to acknowledge that we have a serious problem with black on black crime.
Donovan, can you touch upon that really quick about what Gary said in regards to when certain people move to a different neighborhood or a different city? Because you guys got that, well, you had it and still do got it going on in Moreno Valley.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, you know, we're having a cultural shift as the Negroes, most so in LA, has been gentrified out of Los Angeles. It's not feasible to live there. Those people that were living in Compton, sitting on $1 million homes, sell out for $350,000. They try to move out to my neighborhood. $350,000 is not going to get you a decent home in my neighborhood if you can find one at all, because the Hispanics and the Asians are buying that. But what happens is when that cultural shift happens, the whole dynamic of how the new neighborhood that they moved into changes. Basically, okay, and I'll simplify as much as I can. like out here, this was like the suburb area where all the homes were, right? Where, people do that, right? You used to be able to just sit and just drive down the road. LA mentality, now we have cars all over the place sitting in the roads. We have people that have come out here from the concrete jungle. They've got a home, but they can't maintain it. So that whole mentality has now shifted into our neighborhood to where if you grew up, let's say in LA where San Pedro was, and you had the warehouses out there, they've shifted the warehouses out to where I live. So if you got an LA mentality, how do you come out to a new area and say, what would be a great job? Oh yeah, I got it. Warehousing. That was a great job in the 1970s. And now you have
what they call Moreno Valley now.
Yeah. And when all of these people were gentrified out to my area, and now they're moving out of here because they can't sustain living here, they started calling Moreno Valley, what was it, Kill Valley or
Murder Valley?
Murder Valley, right? Murder Valley was a big thing because now you see the ghetto bird. We have a pop team, just a whole gang infestation. Not on my side of town because I live on the original side of town. Because Black folks, we want to move on the good side of town where the new homes are, and then we tear it up. Nobody wants to live in the old neighborhood. They want to live in the new shit. And that's what's happening. And now these people have been pushed out and they're moving to Texas. You guys notice Demetria's in Houston.
Jesus. I mean, don't you guys get tired of talking about this ever? And I don't mean just the three of you or the four of us, but like, at what point do we talk about something else and be about something else? Do you know how much stuff is going on in the world right now? And the crazy part is I don't normally hear about shootings or murders until I go to social media. I think if we get our Black people to focus on other stuff, like the way Black people are getting excited about Dogecoin, if we could get Black people excited about the rest of the world, mental toughness, finance, treating each other better, we will move so much faster. But we have to first stop sharing the shit so much, right? Because like once a Black person kills a Black person, I get 50 videos from different people. Oh, did you hear this? Oh man, I said, no, I didn't hear none of that shit, man. I got my TV on to CNBC, or I'm watching Shark Tank. I'm watching Damon Johns, a brother who made money out of the hood. I'm watching his story. That's what we need to be focusing on, you guys. And it's the same old song. And this whole thing about gentrification, you guys, you realize that white people can't move in until a Black person moves out. And so the question we should be asking is, why are Black people moving out? Grandma, you own this house. You don't have a will. You don't have anything in writing, and you die and the money goes to the probate courts. That is not white people's fault. That is our fault. Because you can't take my car unless I don't make the payment. So I keep hearing people talk about gentrification, but it's like, how are they getting, and regardless if that's a problem or not, how are they getting the property in the first place? You try and talk to our people about finance and, oh no, baby, I got this house. I don't want to do nothing to it. I'm just going to leave it. The same old slave shit. Like, we are in, it freaks me out how screwed up the position we are in. Our kids don't know shit about money. They're 21, 22, 23, 25 years old. They don't know shit about stocks. They don't have no investments. They don't know nothing. They don't have a business. And we're just cool with that. You know what we ought to do instead of being mad at the police for the shooting? We ought to go out and get these brothers who got these kids that aren't in their damn life. Thus, if we put the heat on Black men like we do on the police, this shit won't end.
Oh, now wait a minute. Now you going into dangerous territory.
No, I got a 9mm upstairs. I wish a brother would. Like, seriously. Like, now I understand you have problems with the mama, but trust me, my kids, my ex-wife wasn't always the nicest to me. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Trust me. But that didn't stop me from seeing my kids. Never did I go, oh, she's a bitch to me. I ain't gonna see the kids. That never crossed my mind. I hear you brothers talking about the mama tripping. I can't go over there. Really? Y'all, like, we need to turn this channel into where the real black men at. Like, Black Lives Matter should not be ran by 2 women. It should be ran by a bunch of men and maybe 3 women, right? And those 3
women.
Yeah, and based on what I know about those women, they don't even like men, nor do they want a black man in the room. And we fell for it. I don't have a problem with your sexual lifestyle. That's cool. But like, that don't mean we don't step up to the plate. When you take, I guarantee you, if you went to the white neighborhoods and the Asian neighborhoods and you took the men out their house, their shit would look like ours. I guarantee it. So black men need to step the hell up. And until that happens, we ain't gonna be shit. I don't care how much money you rain on the hood. All it's gonna do is get the Crump and Al in them, and they ain't gonna never get to the hood. And why would you put money in the hood anyways? They don't know what to do with it. You realistically think you're gonna put computers in the hood and give them cash and they're gonna do something with it with no leadership, no oversight? You know, it's not gonna change. You can't just put money on a shitty situation. Black men.
The whole part about that is, real quick, the cold part, Walter, when Gary, when you were saying that about the computers, and I feel guilty for thinking it, but it's probably just the truth. Y'all put all those computers in there and all those resources in, they probably be gone in the next week. You know, some probably they come up missing. It's just it's sad, but is it true? You know,
when you feel that you down a rabbit hole and you never gonna get out, you just do what the natives do. Let me explain something to y'all. Yeah, they might have stole some computers if we'd put them there. But the one thing that I was proud of is they put them guns down for 8 months. So they bought in. They believed that they could do something else besides what they were doing. The city of Houston did not come through and they dropped the ball. Because, you know, we need to get somebody down there to talk to them. Okay, you sent the soldier. Donovan, look me now. When the war is about to start, the first people you send in is the Marines. Am I correct?
Yes and no, depending on the operation. But yeah, the Marines are usually
depending on the operation. But
yeah.
A lot of times, if you got some ground shit going on, you send the Marines in first. Okay, they sent the Marines in, which was us. We got them to put the guns down for 8 months. They believed that they could be everything that Walter was talking about. Okay, City of Houston, what we need you to do is we need you to come through and do what you said you were going to do. And they didn't do it. So at that point, 8 months later, they like, man, fuck this shit, man. I'm talking about folks giving up on the drug trade. I'm talking about folks giving up on black violence for 8 months.
Yeah. You know, and
Walter, I want you to know this here. I see Al say don't move to the ghetto. Don't move to the hood. I get that part. But see, what they do is if they'll come through and they'll close this community down, this particular complex, they'll close it down. And then most of these people are on housing vouchers. And they'll give them a housing voucher and tell them, you go over here to the north side. Well, hold on a second. Ain't that how Greenspoint got fucked up? You thought your neighborhood had a new name? It was called Greenspoint. It's now called Guns Point. Because you forced them out there. You created a brand new ghetto. When you didn't want them in Greenspoint no more, you forced them more out to Spring. Now Spring is very violent. That's the shit that happened to Missouri City. See what I'm saying? They just move them from community to community with no viable means to get on their feet, like Walter is saying. Well, but they bought into it, y'all.
You know what? And I know I'm a bit jump Walter to this. It's the means, but I think it's more the mentality over the means. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and that's we're kind of agreeing with the whole computer thing. You know, it's like so you can move something, and I'm not just saying black people to a different neighborhood, a different area, whatever. But if they haven't changed their mindset, then they just bring it right to the new area. My dad, when I was very young, told me that. You know, he says ghetto is not where you live; it's in your mind. And we have to get rid of that or correct it somehow. Otherwise, it just continues until we're extinct.
Yeah. And like I gave you guys an answer a few minutes ago, and I'll give it to you again. Self-esteem is number one. We talking about the Houston, LA, the city ain't gonna do nothing. They're not doing nothing. They're too busy. The pandemic is over. They're opening back to their parties and shingdings and popping wine bottles with the congressmen and the councilmen. They are not coming to the hood to do nothing. Period. It's not happening. So we need to stop waiting on some fantasy government to come do the job. They're not coming. 1, 2, and if we can start internally, we need to drop with this fear shit and this stuff like I was talking to a brother yesterday, a business owner. He was like, I don't have to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. In my mind, I thought, get the hell out of my house. Are you out of your damn mind? I don't want to be around nobody that doesn't want to be excellent. Stop with the general, I don't need to be rich. Yes, you do. Because what if they come up in here, if we lose things? Wouldn't it be nice to have some land, some money, some food to eat, a water system, some propane? I mean, like, I talk to Black people about that shit, and they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, own a piece of land, like, protect yourself. Wealth should be our number one thing. We should wake up talking about the money, go to bed talking about the money. Because with money, you have power. And, like, as far as getting up out of the hood, you guys, I spent my summers in South Central LA, where Reginald Denny got beat up, the whole Rodney King OJ. I spent my summers there. And my father was the dominant force in my life. Even though I spent more time with my mom, my father started talking, my mom didn't say shit. She was like, hey, that's your pops. And there's a lot of shit she could have said. She was like, hey, and when I acted a fool, she was like, and Amanda too, Amanda tell you. It was like, hey, what happened to Amanda? Oh, she's living with your father. So I went through that, and I still got out of the hood. I still got out of that mentality because I just read, I hung around people that wanted to do better. And then my father always told us to do better. He gave us books. So he was very instrumental, and still is, and unless you clean up his house too much, and getting us on our feet. So this ain't gonna never change until the Black man takes control. Tell people, shut the hell up. I am in control. The man is the household, the head of household. The woman is the neck. Baby, I got this. Tell me what to get. See, we forget the whole relationship between a Black man and a Black woman is the Black woman is like, hey, baby, here's what we need. His job is to go get it. Every relationship I've been in, she's been like, here's what we need. Okay, so I'm taking like, you know, she tell me what to do basically, but I go out and do it. And so we can do that. But until we do that, we're not gonna have nothing. I don't care what you say. And as far as these gang members, you know, owning property, I hate to see that stuff. Sometimes I just want to roll my Range Rover up on the curb and take a gang member out. Just run him over, drag his ass, drop him in the river, swing back around and grab another one. Like, when we start acting like that, this stuff will end. And you guys, we got to make money sexy. Period. When we make money sexy, and I'm not talking about this flossy, but make it sexy to have cash and to get on your feet and be stable. Oh man, no one will be able to touch us. We got to make money sexy.
Yeah, real quick, I got a question. It kind of goes with John L. Muhammad said. He says, we're programmed to expect so much from those who give so little, and to fail to see the greatness within ourselves. We have no limits beyond God and truth. We must awaken the supreme being within ourselves. And I'm gonna have to kind of, agree with that, because why is it that, when it comes to the people, Joe Biden, the Democratic Party, we expect so little from them, but then the local politician, we expect all these great things, but the very people we give our vote to, our pastors, we give our money to, we expect so little from these folks. Why do we have that mentality?
Well, it's, first of all, we got to realize who the master is. It's not Jesus. It ain't money. It ain't the white man. We are our own master. Number one. And Joe Biden, the president, should not have that much control over you. And you guys, by the way, for all you people that voted for him, he is coming for black people. Like, seriously, his tax proposal where like your mama bought a house for 30 grand and it's worth $1 million and you get to keep it for free, he about to cut that. Like, he is coming for black people. Black people, a lot of our wealth is we get real estate from our mom and our grandparents. He is coming after you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, most of us will inherit a house and we can start over. Oh, even though we fight over it, we have something. Imagine inheriting a house for 200 grand and your parents bought it for 30 and you got to pay tax on 170 grand before you touch it. That is going to wipe black people out. Like, Trump was a son of a bitch. But one thing I liked about Trump, even he was a douchebag. But I'd rather deal with a douchebag that doesn't dig in my pocket. Man, we got gas prices up, steel prices, food prices. I can't even buy wood for the place I'm trying to build. It's through the roof. Everything is up. I don't even think this dude even has 150 days. And we put him in office. But like, it's like the Indians and the Asians, they got all kind of shit. Like, so until we stop blaming other people, stop leaning on a master, it's going to get worse for us. And it freaks me out. I'm looking at like other countries. I want to get the hell out of here. Black people, you think I'm joking? 10 to 15 years, we might be slaves again. Y'all think I'm joking?
Less than that?
No, you might be. I ain't buying it.
Well, there's always the one they kill first. You know what I'm saying? Coulter Kente cut his foot off. He's an example. I mean, come on, you guys. And you don't have to make a lot of money. Like, we're getting unemployment as a country, $600 a week. That's $2,400 a month. I'm sorry?
And a lot of these Republican states are taking the $300 out and saying, we don't want it anymore because we need people to get back on the planet. Back to work. Because as you heard, a lot of restaurants and different businesses simply cannot open because they don't have a staff. And so these governors are refusing the federal unemployment extension as of like June or some early July. So again, to your point, that directly affects Black people because we predominantly make up the service industry. So that extension is going away, even though it's supposed to last until, the end of September.
Yeah, we don't need, unemployment is cool, but we can do without it. You guys really like, I'll tell you what, I was with my my assistant, I call her, she's Ethan Hawke, right? And that would make me Denzel. But we were rolling and we were going to see one of my clients and I saw this dude on the corner selling flowers. And so I pulled over, I grabbed some flowers. I gave him his money. I took the flowers. I gave them to my client's wife. And I'm thinking this dude is out here in the 100-degree heat selling flowers. Nobody's stopping him. No business license. He's just out there selling flowers. And I guarantee he's selling like 10, 15 an hour of those flowers. Damn, you can make money, but you just have to get out. Y'all on the internet, people on their phones. At what point do we take responsibility? And I know we feel like we can't talk to our kids anymore. But I don't know. Because my kids are grown. Hallelujah, Jesus. Right? Because I couldn't have no kids. I don't know how you guys do it with these little kids. But because when I was a kid, man, I remember my father whooped my ass for something I didn't even do. I got blamed for something. I swear on my life I didn't do it. He whooped my ass and then maybe go outside and play. Got you. Oh, the father. Yeah. So, but I remember that fear, not that I want to be in fear, because me and my father relationship was really good. I got whoopings for stuff, most of the things I did. But that authority, man, coming home, doing something, remember that, doing something, and your mom was like, wait till your father get home. You were scared as hell. The ass whooping was worse than the anticipation. So, and I'm not saying we need to beat our kids, but I'm saying we just need
And half the time he would forget and wouldn't even do it. But like you said, just, you know, when mom was like, I'm gonna tell your daddy, we were like, oh my God, we're gonna die surely. And that would go on for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. You're like, he's gonna remember, and he would forget. But you would almost wish he would just whoop your ass and get it over with.
I remember I asked him too, hey, you said you was gonna whoop me. Like, can we get this out of the way? So you guys, we have to go back, and like some of our parents and grandparents, they're so beat up because of the way we treat them. We have to go back and get them. We do. You know what I'm saying? Like my parents weren't perfect. I mean, my parents, I had a good relationship with both of them, but I saw some crazy shit between my parents. And some shit I will never talk about to another human being I saw between my parents. I was like, oh, hell no. Right? But I didn't hold on to that. I just was like, my father taught me hustle. My mom taught me creativity. And so that's where I get my hustle and creativity from my pops. They did some things that you would consider wrong. But so what? I learned from them. And then we have to make it okay to be okay to say, you know what? I come from two people. At the moment, we still have two parents, right? I know most of us are like, oh, we don't need a man, which is total bullshit. When you take a man out of the society, you kill it. Even you roll through the Mexican neighborhoods, you see men everywhere. You don't see a bunch of single women out there raising their kids on their own.
Walter, feminism means two different things in the culture. Only in the Black culture does feminism mean I don't need no man. Any other culture, it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, like you can send me a nasty email. Feminism, first of all, women, knock it off. Like, stop talking about you don't need a man. There's no equal rights when it comes to men and women. We have our different levels, right? Woman, you don't want to be in the house and somebody come to the front door and you go deal with it. You want your man to go. And women, if we're honest, you want your man to go out and get the money so you can take care of the house, make the home. So when he comes home, the house is clean, you're in heels and panties, and the food is ready, and you can dig in his pocket. If I was a woman, that's what I would do. You can say what you want to say, but like the women I know would love to have their man take care of business, and they take care of the kids or go out shop and do what they do. What's wrong with that? Like, that's what I did with my wife. I mean, regardless of how it worked out, I just thought that was the thing to do. Now, like, I hear men say, oh, man, I got two girls paying my bills. We got to kidnap you.
You was on the road for a second.
Man, don't get me started. I think our problem is us. I know I could have did a better job with my kids, which is why I still keep trying, right? There's things I could have did better. And, you know, sometimes my kids are like, oh, Dad, remember that year you disappeared? No, I was working my ass off. I don't remember it. But okay, cool. I take responsibility. But that don't mean I vacate. I stay in the fight. And when you ask somebody to take care of your kids, you become the problem. Period. You go through the white neighborhoods, you see their fathers. They may not be the best fathers. And in my opinion, Black men, we make way better fathers. We are more affectionate. You know what I'm saying? I can go on and on and on. But for whatever reason, women, our Black women, we don't seem, and I know most of you, it's not most of you, but the ones that get the spotlight seem to make it seem like, oh, we don't need a man. I watch the TV shows, ain't a strong Black man in sight. And when we get to that point where we say, no, woman, be quiet. You don't have to like him, but let him step in front of the bullet. When the kid get to acting up in the street, let him go outside and snatch his ass up and bring him in the house. You know what I'm saying? And if he's at work, I tell you what, y'all couldn't have been married to my ex-wife because my kids used to always be in my office. She would bring all of them in the office and be like, here, I'm out. They acting a fool. So it was my job to be responsible for them. That's it. And what makes a real man, makes him stronger? Cash. Having money, a little, not a lot, just some, where you have some security. Hey, baby, I can take tomorrow off and deal with these kids. Go ahead.
We can't hear you.
what I want to interpret that for him.
Oh shit.
What he's saying is, it ain't our fault that y'all keep messing with these busted, broke down Negroes. It ain't our fault that you keep dealing with these cats that put you in worse positions than before you met them. Let me tell you something, man. I will say this here. I hear, the men, but a lot of these women ain't right either. Some of them ain't right. They just not right. And it looks like the older some of them are getting, the more they don't need a man. But hold on a second. These youngsters in the streets wilding out. They can't get to the money the way that they need to get to the money. And if they're a boy, then there comes a time, especially nowadays. Maybe back in the day, Isaiah Thomas' mama could raise a house full of boys. But nowadays, you need a man to raise these boys because you're burying them too soon. Now the thing about it, Walter, they counting the money. They just getting the money the wrong way.
Well, I'm gonna stick with this, and I don't care who is a feminist. All I know is the house I'm sitting in right now. It's my job to take care of this house. Period. And there was a time where I fell on my feet financially, and my girl had to step up and help out, but I didn't make it a habit. You know what I'm saying? For those 2 or 3 days I was off my feet, I was like, I got to get back on it. You know what I'm saying? My girl does not wake up before me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I might fall asleep before her. But like, by the time my girl gets up, I'm like, yo, I already worked out. I'm like, we're ready to go. What do we need to do today? I take pride in that. And I teach my kids that too. And at the end of the day, we have to be responsible. I know a lot of women say, I don't need a man. Well, that's their way of saying, I wish I could find a good man. And women, black women, there are a lot of good men out there. Stop tying his job to the type of person he is. If a brother is working at Taco Bell, leave that brother alone, because at the end of the day, what do you need? Love and affection and food in the house over your head. You know what I'm saying? Your man's working at Taco Bell. When you get home, clean him up and help him with his side hustle. See, so a lot of times people don't want to, their man's got a side hustle, and based on their self-esteem, and they think he might bounce, they want to keep the man cool, like on the low. You need to say, brother, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to push you. Like, I was with Kanye West when he worked on that song, Leave Your Ass for a White Girl. See, because if we want to get this political and get into race, I follow my sister. I think you put a post up, D, something about black women talking about they can't find black men. That is not true.
Do you know that post has over 300, I think by now, shares? I didn't think it would get that response, and it wasn't even mine. It was from Riza Islam, who says, I've never heard a white woman say, I think it says, I don't need a man or something like that, or ain't no good white man or something like that. And
they just moved to another white man, or really, they move into us. Like, seriously. I know a lot of white women, they on their second marriage, and they married to a brother. I had a friend of mine, she goes, I was married to this, I ain't gonna say what his race was, but my parents, shit, they ready to die, I got what I want to get. I'm like, damn. So like let me shut up because I don't want to get in too much trouble. I just think we need to start looking at ourselves as a stronger people. We bring so much to the table. Like, we really do. We just have to say, you know what? We are kings. We are the best race on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone knows that life started in Africa. Everybody. I don't care who you talk to. They all know that Africa is the motherland. So why don't we start acting like the human race's parents? Why don't we lead? Do you understand what I'm saying? And by the way, you guys, I don't know of any other race where the men are up front. Feminist or not, men, we are stronger physically, maybe not smarter, but we are mentally stronger. What I mean by that is we are created to deal with the madness so you can be at peace. I don't want my woman carrying the stress of the household. Brothers, are you really cool with that? Your wife is out working day and night, and you working at the liquor store part-time, and you cool with that? And you coming home and playing a video game?
I don't mind him being single if they put his ass out because he ain't doing what he need to do. Your job as a man is to be a provider. That is your job, to be a provider. Your mate is a helpmate. So hold on, Christians. Why did God put Eve in the Garden of Eden? To be Adam's helpmate.
Be careful.
So what
now.
you said earlier, Walter, plays right into that. You say, well, there were days where I fell off my feet and my mate, she had to help me. That's what she's there for. But it was your job from day one to do what needed to be done. And I think this is where these brothers get it twisted, because you want to go lay up in there and don't do nothing. But the sister, you weak too, because you got him laying up in there not doing nothing.
Yeah, stop giving up the booty so easily. I mean, damn. I'm gonna tell you this. If I was a single man and I was on that booty trip, it would be a constant trip. Booty is so easy. I remember the days when you had to fight for it, take a girl out, pick her up, bring her flowers. You had to meet her parents. I was like, this booty ain't worth it. It takes too long.
Nowadays, all you got to do is say hi to her on in the inbox, and she's ready to give it to you.
Man, I mean,
slide into the DMs. Is that what the young people say? Slide into the DM.
Yeah, sometimes all you need is baby oil and TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't even need baby oil and TikTok. You just need a sack of weed nowadays.
I mean, I'm just joking around, but like, you know what I'd like? Like, for instance, me and Ethan, that's what I'm calling the young lady that's helping me. We went to this, so we woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and we worked all day, like on the businesses and stuff that we're trying to get off the ground. And then at 10 o'clock at night, we're at this auto auction looking at cars because we're buying cars, right? And I said to her, I was like, it's 10 o'clock at night. Neither one of us have eaten. And we're still in the grind. Like, that's euphoric. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to get your day started at 5 and 10 o'clock be in the hustle. And on our way out, we walk past this black Mercedes. You open the door and it just turned blue. The S550, 2014, I think when they started that color. And I tell you something, sitting in that car with the blue lights and the spaceship did something to me. And it made it all worth it, right? To see something that nice after working for it. What if we just attached, be it an object or a lifestyle, and we fought for it. And we made it okay to have nice stuff and to be nice to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Let me read this here. We can't see it on the screen here, but how you doing, Tia, Queen Diva? She says, people label me as a gold digger, quote unquote. No, my husband is a great man that takes damn good care of me, and I take damn good care of him. I don't care what no one says. Every woman wants a man that takes care of home, period. So I agree with that, but I want to ask you, Walter, and then Gary and Donovan, y'all chime in too. Why is it, especially with black women, why are black women often labeled gold diggers for wanting a man to take care of her? Now, I'm not talking about a woman who wants him to spend his life savings on nonsense, Louboutins and Louis, but just somebody to take care of her. Why is she, a black woman, often labeled a gold digger for just wanting to be taken care of?
She's not a gold digger. She's Eve. That's the prerequisite to being in a relationship, to being in a marriage. It is his job to take care of her. If you got a house, he got a house. When you get married, you're supposed to move to his house. If you don't like the cars in the driveway, Eve, I don't want to drive this 1999. Well, that's all I can afford, baby. Well, I want a 2020 Benz. Well, you're gonna have to help me get it. It's nothing wrong with her wanting that. And see, and I'm gonna tell you something, black woman. That's not something that she should even have to tell a real man, because he should know his assignment.
Well, I'm going to answer it for you, and I'm going to tell you the real deal. While I think it is a woman's labeled a gold digger. You want to know why? We have two generations of young men that were raised by single mothers, or mothers that were raised pretty much by their moms, that told them their girlfriend or that girl is a gold digger. They have a woman's mentality. So if mama says, "Ooh, I don't like that girl," and you guys know what I'm talking about. You got these moms out there that are competing with their son's girlfriend for his attention. He can't go help his mom no more. He can't go over there by his family. He can't do any of this. And so, why you got to buy her some flowers? You didn't buy me no flowers. Oh, she a gold digger.
That doesn't stop him from being a man. When I was married, point blank, relationships, I paid every single bill. I paid every car note, every utility bill, the mortgage. I paid it all. That wasn't her job. That's the job of a man.
True.
Fuck what your mama want. If your mama want this, go fuck your mama.
Right. But
Okay.
when you have when you have these I think that when you have these young men that are raised by these single mothers, they don't know what it is
your
to be a man.
mama then.
Exactly.
Go get some pussy from your mama.
Exactly.
Okay.
They don't know
So
that they got to bring a whole loaf. They don't know.
okay, hold up. Up your brakes. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with a woman contributing. She can contribute. Don't be confused. I like it that my woman makes money, and don't be confused. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, as the man, you fight for it, because there are a lot of situations where the woman's gonna make more than the man. That is okay, but just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? If my girlfriend my wife makes, I'm speaking in the future, makes more than me. I was thinking, maybe that's not the future unless I'm in Utah. I don't know. But like, if my wife makes more than me and we're straight and I'm taking care of, I'm fighting for it, I'm cool, right? See, that's the other thing we need to address, right? It's okay to be a woman and make more, but as the man, and assuming that you're in a heterosexual relationship, just keep going. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know what you're trying to say, but I don't give a damn if she make 40 million a year and you making 100,000. You a man, it's your job to take care of that house. That is our job. The house is our Garden of Eden. It's our Garden of Eden. And what needs to happen, y'all need to put the pussy on lock and stop laying up with these sorry ass motherfuckers.
Well, if you put the on lock, he gonna unlock another door. That's just the way it is.
He need to go find some or go get something from his mouth.
He got multiple keys. It's unfortunate. So we passed that. But what I'm saying is, as the man, I'm just saying fight for it. Because there are a lot of situations where, and I have a lot of clients where the women got the job, the county job, the government job, and they worked for 30, 40 years. They got the pension and the money. And the dude was just hustling his whole life. And they get to 70, she got the money, he got the hustle. I see a lot of that. And I talk to a lot of guys like, man, I took care of everything, but she saved the money. I see that a lot. I was with a client yesterday who paid the bills for him and his wife. She worked for the county. She's getting a pension. And he never saved, but they worked together. He paid the bills, she stacked. The problem is, as we get older, a lot of times, women, I'm talking to you, y'all be stacked and be like, I got this, my money, blah, 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 blah. But y'all forget that dude was taking care of things. So black men, get the money. You make $1, put 50 cents away. Put 20 cents away. And if you, and I'm going to say this, and I want you to look in the mirror. If you ain't doing this, I want you to say, I ain't shit. If you make money, even if you put a penny out of $1 away, start a habit. I have people say, oh, I can't save. Baloney. That is not true. Even in California, you can be in a room, it's going to be in the hood, for $600 a month. So if you bring home 24, you can rent a room. You know what I'm saying? And you can have a $200 car payment. You be $800 in and still have $1,600 left. You can save 200 a month.
What you're really saying to them is you can save money if you lower your trick bill.
I mean, trick bill or sleep with the one you're with. I mean, that's a easier way to bring down the cost of the booty is to sleep with the one you're living with. That's a whole nother comment. Y'all ain't ready for that. I don't even know if I'm ready for that. But like, booty is expensive. I tell you, man. Anyways, don't get me started. But back to the money. What if we just, like, here's what I do. Anyone that knows me, I'm like, when I meet them, I'm like, how much money do you have saved? Are you saving money? I got to grow my house right now. I'm like, boom, here's how stocks work. Here's how this works. You, Ethan, I'm Denzel. Like, here's the money. Here's how it goes. Like, I don't want to be around people that aren't working with their money. That's how you become broke. I don't want to be around somebody that's not working on their health, somebody that's not working on greatness. Do you understand? One of my shirts, thou that catch a falling knife shall get cut. Period. If you struggling, homeboy, not because you struggling, oh, this is about to make everybody mad, but I'm going to say it. We have to cut the excuses. Anything outside of death or disability, I don't give a damn. I don't care if your dog got hit by a car. Buy another one. Buy a leash. Oh, my dog is sick. Open the gate for his ass. Let him out. Let him go somewhere where they'll take care of him better. Don't tell me you got a cat and he got a fur ball.
What you're saying to the ones in the hood is stop faking and go get you an extra crazy check.
I mean, like, no excuses. None. Some of you have animals, you need to give them to the shelter. Because most of you are too broke to have an animal. How do you have a dog and you behind on your bills? His ass would be at the neighbor's house. And I know if you follow me on Facebook, my neighbor's dog is at my house quite a bit. He'd be like, oh, they over there struggling. I know you got food.
and you know what the sad thing is, Walter? It is a crime to keep a dog or a cat in a squalid condition. You know, they have more rights than people do. And it's a crime to abuse a dog and a cat. If you can't afford an animal, you shouldn't have one. Like you said, they shouldn't have one.
Okay, let me answer some of these questions. I don't care where you put your money, coins, Bitcoins, real estate, put it somewhere. And Black people, stop being so damn scared. You know what? I spend most of my marketing resources on Black people. Most of my energy, phone calls, everything, most of it's been on Black people. That is my worst rate of return on my investment. It should be the other way. When you have somebody that looks like you, that's like, I'm not like these other Negroes, so-called Negroes, like, oh, he'll do what I say. I just tell people, do what I do. I don't care if you on your way up and you got $6 in the bank. Say I got 6, I'm about to have $6.01 tomorrow. Start there. And you guys, stop with these whack-ass standards like, oh, I need a man who got this. How about you just get a man that's trying to be a man? I call him a value man. If your man is catching the bus, cool. Make sure he gets to the bus stop on time, and make sure when he bring that check home, you take some of it and put it away. That's the end of it. Because at the end of the day, women, what do you need besides love and affection? And food and a roof? Do you really need anything else from men?
I need my nails did. I need a Gucci bag. I need some Louboutin shoes. I need to go get my hair did.
We need to go on the cruise. We need to go on the cruise. We need to travel.
And the main with all that being said, they need all that. What you need to do is get with Amazon and see how much a stripper pole costs. Put it in your bedroom and start practicing. You gonna make all the money you want to get that shit.
Well, Gary, you know what? Normally when you go there, I try and turn my camera off, but I'm gonna agree with you on this. Man, I had a dream. It's gonna be in my movie. Man comes home from work. His boys are like, yo, man, we going to the strip club. He walk in the house. His wife is in heels and panties in the kitchen. Like, I can't make it tonight. Click. Like, there's nothing wrong. And we've perverted somehow, like pleasing your man or pleasing your woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of being in a relationship? Are we taskmasters? I mean, like, we have to start with each other. We need to slow down a little bit because some of us fighting for money and we blowing it. I'd rather make $15 an hour. Make sure I got a roof over my head. Me and my wife are comfortable. We put some money away. And I'm attracted to this woman. And I get, we get to spend an hour or two a day, and I'm not talking about just banging, but, like intimacy, like light some candles, get the baby oil out. What's wrong with a bottle of wine? You know what I'm saying? Make a steak or carne asada, whatever you do. Like, what happened to that? All this other shit you guys need. Do you really need a Louis bag if your man makes $15? No. Do you know, man, go LVMH. Go look up their stock price. During the pandemic, Louis Vuitton made so much money. How much do you think they gave to your black ass? 0. I'll take it even a step further. Prada, some of these companies, they will create a mask, a sweater with a watermelon Negro on it. Uproar, and we'll still go back 2 months later. Are you like, seriously? Now, if you want to buy Prada because they make a good shoe, and they do, fine. But like some of you women, men too, you got 8 purses. You got 8, oh man, I got 4 Gucci bags. Are you a dumb mother? That's silliness. How about you sell those Louis bags and buy, like today, I'm gonna tell you what I did. Don't do it because it's just what I'm doing. Airbnb, and Gary, we joked about it earlier, right? Because a lot of people, we didn't joke about it, but you brought it up. But a lot of people fuck with me about Airbnb. But like, Airbnb got me through the pandemic where I didn't have to dip into my savings. I mean, like, you guys, like seriously, today, Airbnb announced earnings after the bell. How many black people do you think were like, yo, Airbnb is about to announce earnings? Let's buy some of these stock options before they announce. Nobody. I'm texting my boys.
Real quick question. I think I read today, Airbnb is projected, their stock rose 52%. And as the pandemic is going up, it is projected to go up even higher than that as people are getting out and, starting a vacation and stuff.
They are making money. But when you try and talk to our people, hey man, I texted one of my boys today, yo, Airbnb is announcing earnings after the bell. He's like, miss me with that. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna miss you with that. You gonna miss it.
So what he's really trying to tell y'all is stop letting your place sister sleep in the extra room you got and start charging her naked ass.
Oh no. Listen, I'm like this. My cousin was here yesterday, and she was like, he's my cousin, but he's about his money. If I'm not sleeping with you, you're not one of my kids, you need to participate financially, period. And even my kids know they need to be working on their future financially. And when we get to that point, we'll be better off. I promise you. A black man getting out of a Mercedes Benz, women go, ooh. How about a black man saying, you know what? I'm fighting for my family. Maybe I'm not I don't have it all under control, but I'm fighting. See, so early when I was
how do we change that though? That the perception of if he's working at McDonald's or Taco Bell or a warehouse or something like that, that somehow that's not honorable. Like how do we? Maybe I should do that. I don't know. It's being
first you got to pull up your goddamn pants. Number one, once you start
I'm saying from a woman's point of view.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the people with their pants down. We pull up their mind and their pants will follow. But I'm talking like, okay, seriously, you guys, if you really think about it, if you made $15 an hour, that's $600 a week. You telling me in Texas you can't live on $600 a week? You can. I know that you can because I'm in Texas.
What he telling y'all is some of y'all rent is $20 a month. He don't understand how you get eviction notices.
Even $20 a month, $600 a month. Me and my sister, we walked to her neighborhood. We knocked on doors. I'm like, "Hi, are you selling your house? How about you?" I saw a Mexican in the car. He laid back in the cut. We knocking on the door. He's like, "Oh, he didn't want to say nothing." I kept drilling him. I'm like, you guys, You can go to my sister's neighborhood and buy your house payment will be $600 to $800 a month.
The man
That
telling
means-
y'all that your rent is $20 a month. The church paying your light bill. And because you get the SSI check, you get the free phone. You really don't have no bills. And therefore, you should be able to pay your bills with $600. You should pay your bills for like 40 years.
I mean, yeah, so this is like, I'm Obama, he's Keenan, or whatever that dude's name was. But you guys, I'm being serious though. Like, me, and see, I'm the type of person, like, I like to get on airplanes and just go do it. I'm not the greatest man with planning and organization, but I will hop my black ass on a plane and go try it. Period. I went to Texas, I went to the wrong neighborhood, whatever. But you go for it. I'm in Texas, I'm Alabama, New Orleans, Florida. Like, you guys can live. If you're making $2,400 a month, you can support a whole family and still save $400 or $500 a month.
Earl Joseph says, from a woman's point of view, an average woman cannot be with that type of man. And I'm gonna say this here, Earl. Yes, they can. Because if you come through the door and you on the fries at McDonald's, but you tell her you got a bona fide plan to be the goddamn general manager in about a year or two, she'll give you a shot. But if all you're talking about is cooking fries, she ain't gonna be with your good breeze ass too long.
It don't even have to be that. Like, let's assume this dude is gonna be at McDonald's and make $15 an hour for the rest of his working days. All right, ladies, here you go. Your man is I'm talking to the 30 and 40-year-olds for a second. Right? Shit, maybe 50s. Your man is gonna work 30 years, he's gonna make $15 an hour. Period. He ain't gonna never make no more. But for those 30 years, he's gonna save $200 a month. He's going to wake his ass up and get in front of CNBC, Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance, and spend an hour or two while he's getting ready with his uniform, and he's watching CNBC. And every month he takes $200 and puts it away. And he gets an average rate of return of 12%. Do you know by the time this man goes from 40 to 70, he will have $700,000? Let me ask you a question. If you live in Texas, New York, California, and you have $700,000 saved, what does your life look like? If you have $100,000 saved, what is your life? If you have, I feel like I'm in the club. If you have $10, put your hand up. If you have $10,000 saved, and my sister, the chick on the bottom on the left, will tell you, because I know and she knows when we both didn't have $2,000 to rub together, and this shit was shitty. But now we're talking about Bitcoin, this and this coin, buy this stock. And now, and I know my sister's got more money than that because I see the group chats. So me and my sister used to talk about negative bullshit all the time. Every time she called, did you know? We don't have those conversations anymore. So I take her phone call, right? So we can do that. But ladies, your man is working at McDonald's, take 10% of his check, put it away and don't touch it unless it's going into something that's going to make you money. And stop being so damn scared. If you lose the money, try it again.
I'm gonna go to bat for men and I'm gonna go to bat for women. But tonight I'm going to bat for my sisters. Afro Diaspora Network says black women are too busy being unrealistic like basketball wives. Hold on a second, man. If a woman could cut her perfect man into two and make him exactly the same, but one had money and one didn't, which one she gonna mess with? Don't nobody really want to be with no broke motherfuckers, man. And a broke motherfucker has a broke mentality. They're not trying to get to the money. But this is why these sisters ain't got the time to deal with some of these Negroes, because they're not trying to get to the money.
But I will differentiate just a little bit. I'm telling you, you guys, I'm watching these white women, these Mexican women get with these $15, $20 an hour brothers, and they add $10, $15. They add $30 an hour. They're bringing home $5,000 a month. They in Texas, wherever, Alabama, and they got a nice house and they going out and getting it. We need to stop judging. I'm a financial consultant. But I'm saying, for me to say, oh, brother, go out and make $50,000 a year when you're making 28 is unrealistic for most people. It's not unrealistic, but
you laid up with him when he was making 15. What you want? If he cooking fries at McDonald's, what's his growth plan? If you knew that from the gate, you can't expect him to make $15 an hour this year and then $65,000 the next year. That's not realistic.
Your ass.
Let me jump in here, just from a woman's point of view. So, because I think there's a difference between a woman not wanting to be with a broke man, and then there's a woman who, wants a man to have all this money to do things for her. But a lot of times, that woman ain't got two legs to stand on. So are you trying to get with the man to help him build, or are you getting with a man strictly on what he can do for you? See, that's where we need to really answer that question. Is it what he can do for you, or are you helping him build? Because a woman, and I don't go to church, but I know what it says, it's supposed to be a help meet. My father says oftentimes a man will bring in a spoonful of money, and a woman who's not good with money will shovel it out the back door. So if you're talking about that kind of woman, you'll never make enough money for that type of woman. And so you need, and I'm just telling y'all men, get with you a woman that's going to help you build. Not a woman that's like, well, I need the latest, Louboutin shoe. Yes, Donovan, that kind of woman, she's only there for her. She ain't there for y'all, if that makes any sense.
So what she telling y'all, for y'all in the hood that don't understand, is stop going to happy hour looking for a queen and hang out at the club when the man say happy hour is over. Look for the ones that can pay the regular price.
I mean,
you know what? I'm gonna keep it real with you. As a woman, I like a man that's frugal. It don't bother me if a man put a coupon on the table, or we have it a 2-for-1. That don't bother me. You know why? Because once that meal is over, what does he got left over in the bank? That's what I'm more concerned with. So he gonna spend $200, $300, $400 trying to impress my black ass, and then when it come down to it, like some bills need to be paid, or well, we ain't got it, or I ain't got it, because I was trying to make sure we was stunting for Instagram or wherever you doing it for.
Yeah, Dimitri. Remember, that's one thing me and Al are good for, asking for our military discount. And a lot of people don't realize this. That stuff adds up at the end of the year. Using my military discount in certain things, I save over almost $1,000 every year that I would have just given away at regular price.
So what Donovan is saying, he's saying 5-star, you ain't got no problem pulling out that AARP card on their ass, do you? Nope.
I got my AARP card. I'm 51. I use it. Listen, I joined this network marketing company. I wear this patch, right, from Thrive. You can hit me up about it. They pay me like $200 a month. And people are like, why do you do that? I'm like, man, I like getting that check. You know what I'm saying? You guys, even if you save $5 a day, which by the way is $150 a month, which is more than most people saving. Because if they were saving that much, we wouldn't be talking about this shit, right? We're talking about the same low, swing low. You guys, you realize Harriet Tubman carried a shotgun? Like, damn.
And let me say this too. Some of these women, and I'm just, I don't get mad at me, women. I know I ain't talking to y'all, right? But some of these women got men so afraid to say, well, can I get a military discount? Because he's scared you're going to judge him. Or he going to run you off. Oh, he cheat. He asking for a military discount. What's right? He should just got, that's so embarrassing. So, I'm just saying, so as women, we got to knock that off. Right? Like,
so what she really trying to tell y'all in the projects, because I talk to y'all in a different way. She's saying, don't be tripping on him when he pull out the military discount if your ass stay on the sales rack at Rally Paralysis.
I mean, we have to decide, you guys, you know what? And I would like to get to the day where I don't have to apologize for being black. I do not have to be like, oh, we still swing lowing. Like we blew no matter who. I'm not saying vote for who you want to vote for, but make sure you get something out of it. And stop shooting the damn messenger. man, I like, I was excited. I'm gonna go back to the election for a second. I was excited when I saw Ice Cube and some of those guys stepping up and saying, hey, cut us a check before we vote for you. Y'all like, oh, don't upset the massa. Like, don't you get tired of talking about this shit? Like, we should be talking about fun. Like Carnival Cruise is getting ready to open up. We should be on the Warzone cruise. Imagine that if we all did a cruise and we spent 7 days having drinks, pina coladas, walking the sands and talking wealth. Like, that's the type of trip. What's up, girl? Yeah, I know that one. Like, what if that's the type of stuff, Erica, we need to talk after this too. Right? Like, that's one of my soldiers right there. She papered up. I ain't gonna give you her address, man, because you got to earn it. But like, damn, how cool would it be if we could just talk about money? It doesn't have to be all the time, because those of you that ever spent time with me know I like to talk about money. I like to find a nice restaurant, have something to eat and something to drink. Period. That's my lifestyle. Money, food, and a cool drink. That's it. And an Uber. So what if we just spent time doing that?
Forgot your cigar.
And a cigar I'm smoking in the house. I'm risking it, but fuck it. Like, at the end of the day, you need to do what makes you happy, but you need to do the things that help you afford it. You don't have to, like, this lifestyle stuff, you guys. All these fancy things, most of us will never see that. What if we just came home to a loving relationship where I was like, baby, I work today, I'm putting a little money away. At the end of the day, all you need is love and affection. You know what I'm saying? You need a man, a warm man or woman, whatever it is you're into, that can be nice to you. At the end of the day, wouldn't it be nice just to have that and have some security and say, we are working on it together, and put down the basketball. I saw the African diaspora is talking about the basketball wives. You guys, that shit ain't real. Black women as a whole do not behave that way. But we watching that shit. Like one of my friends, Claudia Jordan, she was on one of those shows. I'm like, I know Claudia. She does not behave that way. It's like, what the fuck? Like, Lord help me. Like, we have to, it's okay to watch stuff like that sometimes. Because I like war movies and I like to watch Scarface and shit once in a while. The Avengers, but like, don't make it part of your real life. You become what you surround yourself with. Most Black women do not behave that way, but if it's on the media all the time, it's what we think. Oh, she about to get loud, or I can't. Most Black women don't act that way. They're working, they're trying to keep their family intact. So again, I'm gonna make sure I covered all my notes. Did I talk about Black Lives Matter? I did. We need to cut them off. They ain't doing shit for us, but sucking up the money. Black lives matter when Black people treat each other better. When Black people start saving money. My father was Muslim. We used to go to Temple 27 in LA. And I remember going to the temple. It was clean. You know, they were organized. I remember when they used to come to my father's shop, the cars were clean. It seemed very organized. And I feel like as a people, we got away from that. And I think we should go back. I'm not talking about Islam. I'm just talking about it's okay to be clean. It's okay to have your stuff together. Right? And at the end of the day, having a $300 purse and you spending $300 on your hair is cool. But like most of you women getting your hair done don't even have a man. What's the point? I mean, if you ain't got a man, do you really need to do your hair? I mean, or a woman or whatever you into, right? Because I know now things are different, but like,
well, you want to do it for yourself. You know, when you look good, you feel good, right?
But for what? I mean, if you ain't doing nothing with it, I mean, like, I know women that drive to 300 miles away to spend $400 on their hair once every month or two, but can't save $200 a month. I ain't saying shave your head bald-headed and save some money, but like maybe that for some of y'all need to do that. Some bald-headed, attractive women out there, I'm just saying. Right? So,
you know, and wait, let me just interrupt with that, you know, and I'm speaking like when I see these young guys, I know they want to do their hair a certain way, but you know, it costs minimum shops I go to or used to go to was like $25 a cut, and I was getting my hair cut every 2 weeks. That's $50. I said, forget that. So I just shaved it all off myself and just kept $50.
Yeah, I mean, it is really, Walter, I see you texting. We're in this group text talking about some money as we speak. Yeah, I mean, it really is about it's about being frugal. I mean, it really is just finding ways, to save money. And yeah, and I heard Farrakhan say it, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but he was admonishing women. He says, why would you want your man out there working 2 or 3 jobs, because you want this and you want that, opposed to saying, okay, I know we don't have it right now, but, we'll make do what we have. You got your man out there, and breaking his back for you when you can just, forego some of those things right now. And so it's really, about building. And I don't think people really understand that concept. And and I'm going to say this too, from a woman's point of view, is a lot of women don't know what it means to get with a man sometimes on the ground floor. I'm not talking about broke, busted, and disgusted ground floor. I'm talking about a man who is, got a little something and he's trying to build. A lot of women think, well, I should just run off into it because it's, like I've been told the fairy tales my whole life. Prince Charming is going to run up on a horse and he's going to take me away into this fabulous life. But never in that fairy tale do they tell these women, and you know what? That's a facade a lot of times. A lot of times you got to help that man, get to the next level. A lot of women want the ready-made, bank accounts and relationships and all of that. I mean, on average, I would say you're going to have to help build. So I don't, and I'm not saying that women should settle and not, have nothing in a relationship. I'm saying stop believing the housewives fairy tales and all the Instagram fairy tales, and because all of that stuff is for you. Now, why do you think they call them influencers? So they can influence your dumb ass into buying something you can't afford. They not even buying that stuff. And Walter will tell you, and Gary will tell you, a lot of times when those influencers or rappers or whatever, when they get done off the set, the video set, the jeweler is right there on the set and be like, thank you, I'll take that. Even at the Oscars. Think those people really own those $2 and $3 million necklaces and earrings? Nope. The jeweler is right there, says, okay, the red carpet is over, give it to me. So, I mean, we just got to get out of that mentality, I would think, as women.
Well, I want to go back to what Walter was talking about for y'all that didn't get it. He was talking about buying hair for women. And, some of us don't want to buy no hair for no woman. And it don't matter if we buy you bundles, because we can still see your hairline. And you'll be around here singing, you'll never find, bloom, 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 a hairline like mine.
Let me tell you something. See my hairline? I'm starting to bald a little bit. I'm taking my black ass to Turkey, right? They're going to pay for my hotel, my flight, and they're going to fix my hairline. But when I show up, your hairline don't matter. If you onto something, if you working hard, if you're trying to take care of a woman, you guys, fellas, you realize sometimes you can just open a woman's door. You open a woman's door these days. She's like, oh shit, you gonna drive? I'm like, no, girl, I'm opening the door for you. And you need to lean your ass over and open mine. Right? Like, we don't need all this fantasy, the stuff you see on TV. Most of that stuff ain't real. And I worked, and I'm gonna leave the group's name out of it, but they did a show for Arsenio Hall. And after the show, they gave the clothes back. Not the jewelry, not the Range Rover, the clothes back. That's a damn shame. Like, that ain't even your jacket. So, yes, we are in the best position right now. And what we need to do is start doing more of these. And black men, black women, I love talking to black women. First of all, let me address this. If you spending $110 to get your hair cut, we need to slap the shit out of you. I ain't never paid. Man,
you getting raped, homeboy.
I will shave my head bald tonight to save $25. If I thought I could put that away every week and build my retirement.
If they paying $100, see, I invested in something about 3 years ago called some clippers. So I paid $60 for. and I can cut my hair whenever I get ready because I cut it bald. You paying $110, you need your grill slapped out your mouth if you paying $110 for a haircut.
Man, if you got clippers, the right clippers, you can shave everything.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
wait, $25 plus what? A $15 tip. You're looking at almost $40 a haircut. So I'm looking at $80. Yeah, I take that money that I save for my haircut, and that's what I invest in my stash account. That's just stash.
I want you guys to look at Donovan's face. Like when he come on, he's chill. He don't ever look stressed. None of that stuff. And that's just from putting some money away. Just a little bit. You guys, I hate saving money because I want shit. Last night I saw this Mercedes S550. Opened the doors, the blue lights came on. I wanted it. And I could buy it. I could physically buy this Mercedes. But damn it, I'm trying to build land and buy property and I'm trying to do things. And that is where my energy is at. So, and I
Say,
know
what he telling y'all is he ain't gonna buy that S550. 5-star gonna get it before him. Cause you go buy that land, I'm gonna go buy that S550. I'm finna knock that off next month.
yeah, the 550 is cool. You know, and it's a beautiful car, but I'm like, you know what I think would impress my woman more is saying, hey, baby, you can quit your job now. That land we bought and we fought like a hell over and we almost ended the relationship trying to build this house is paying us $20,000 a month and you can quit your job and you can wake up when you want to wake up. And when you're ready, I got the baby oil to the left of the bed. You ain't got it. Matter of fact, I like to cook. So when you wake up, I got breakfast ready. Like,
no, what he telling y'all is, if
and I
y'all
got
ain't
wine
got
to the
no
left
money,
and the right.
stay at your mama house because you can't live over here for free.
I mean, you guys, it's not that complicated. I can tell you the house that I'm in right now, I rent, period. I don't own this crib. Instead of buying houses, I'm gonna buy me a house one day, I'm buying investment real estate. You understand what I'm saying? And so I just Airbnb this crib. Like whatever, you don't own a house, no, but I own assets. Buying a house is not an asset. Most of y'all gonna pay on it 30 years. You're gonna refinance it. You're gonna blow that money. You're gonna keep refinancing. You're gonna be 80 years old still paying on your house.
What
Like,
he telling y'all is, if you live in the projects, you can turn your project into an Airbnb. Just get your little cousin them out the back room with the PlayStation and rent the room out.
make sure your cousin's paying rent. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. I remember that song. Got to have a J.O. Remember that? Like, you guys, our situation is very simple. I was at my client's house last night. They bought a house for 100 something thousand. Right now it's worth $1.2 million. And I said, my brother, you are a millionaire. We need to live like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have $1 million of net worth. Do you feel like a millionaire? Are you living like a millionaire? Like, y'all, you guys, this time is not going to come again. Interest rates are low. Prices are up. Your grandmama been in that house for 30 years. Is worth 200,000. She only paid 20. You got 180,000 in that house. You can pull some of that money out and buy a couple more spots and have them pay that mortgage. But you can't trick the money off, though. I know my grandmama won't give you the money because she see you in them streets. But what if you took, and you guys, here's the thing. FHA, they wouldn't let black people buy it. You couldn't get a mortgage from FHA back in the days if you were black. Jim Crow, like, and Bill Clinton and all of them cats, they kept Jim Crow in effect. Joe Biden, he's Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't buy a house as a black man. Now, black people, we own houses and we won't do shit with it. Do you realize that white people are in front of black people because of real estate that we could not buy? Now we own it and we won't do shit with the equity. Oh, that's my house. If you were 62, you could do a reverse mortgage and never pay again. As long as you pay your property tax, I don't care what you do with the money, you will never have a mortgage payment again. My white clients, when I tell them that, they're like, man, they're like banging at my window at midnight. What can I sign? I tell somebody, black people, that, oh, I need to pray on it. God got a reverse mortgage too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have to start thinking like banks. I always say, do it like Diamond. Do it like Jamie Dimon. Stop being scared. We got all this wealth, our grandparents and stuff, and they just sitting on it. You out there busting your ass, and your mama got 200,000 equity in the house, and you guys can't even get on the same page. She just waiting to get gentrified. Like, we need to have some real conversations about cash. Like y'all talking about when George Floyd got killed, I saw people all over the world unite. And the only people that didn't get anything from it were Black people, because the Asians got something from it. They got a holiday. The Indians got something from it. The only people that didn't get anything from George Floyd's murder was us. Period. And we didn't get George Floyd. Maybe, what are we really doing for his honor? Are we saving the money we got? Are we stacking money because interest rates are 2.5%? You can live in Texas for $600 a month, and you're struggling financially. My sister would tell you, I walked her neighborhood, and when I go back, I'm walking down the street to the HOA lady, and I'm gonna find out everybody that's trying to sell their shit.
And he took me with him.
We walked the hood. I was like, we out. I don't care, man. $600 a month. You can own a new house in Texas. New construction. My sister's neighborhood got it blew up. She wasn't there. But you can buy a house in that neighborhood for $150. A new house. Brand new from the floor up. New house. You're in there for $600 a month. Plus whatever your property tax and insurance is. And you telling me you talking, you got money problems? I will slap the black off of your ass. And you deserve it. Come on, you guys. Like, that's the reason I'm looking at Texas. I love Texas. I love you, Texas. It's cheaper for me to catch a flight there and come home every damn day than to live in California.
Yeah.
Like,
real quick, we got a troll. Dave's on the line.
Ignore him. Just ignore him. Don't even mention his name. His name is Voldemort.
Oh, that's cool. Just cut his ass off. Tell him to put his picture up there so we can see where he at. But this is the Black Saga. We can spend an hour, 42 minutes and 10 seconds and talk good shit, and a nigga come on and ruin it. And that will be the topic that people remember. Like, come on. Like, you guys, I work with the guy that worked at Tesla and SpaceX. He's helping me with build my Garden of Eden in space. He was at an HBCU. He's like, Walter, here's what your people need. They need cash. They need real estate. They need money. And all that shit you guys are marching over, you can end that. Because rich people don't march. They write checks. They vote. And this is a white dude telling me this. I'm like, damn. And you got Tupac playing in the background. At what point do we make it okay to be excellent? Right? All this stuff. You guys, I promise you. I want a new car. I want a new S500, and I can afford it. Get my girl in the car, baby, getting the blue lights turn on. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is nice. I want that, but I want to make sure I can afford it. But I guarantee you, if I had an S500 and we lived in that car, then it would be baby oil all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I hope you got some stock in baby oil.
I wish they were public. I'm telling you, I endorse this message. I mean, there's not a lot baby oil won't fix. So, or coconut oil, because you can cook with that too. It's all purpose. I know it sounds crazy what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, like, here's the thing. If you take relationships, love and affection, sex out of the picture, men would not work so hard. Black women, you have the power, but use it to motivate him. Stop talking shit about this man. And black men, treat your women better. That's all there is to it. You're talking to a man that didn't always do that. I know what it's like to treat a woman like shit because I've done it. I'm not proud of it, but I've learned from it.
I would just say this. Unfortunately, look, I'm messing up my damn hair. Unfortunately, and I'm just saying this from a woman's point of view, a lot of men, they don't get to that level You know what I mean? To where they evolve and they leave off all of the things that they were doing when they were younger. And, you know, and I would just say to women, and I'm just speaking to women, if you're dealing with that type of situation, you shouldn't be dealing with that type of situation. If that makes any sense. You know, some men and women, you know, conversely, will never change. Huh? What?
That right.
You goofy.
Here's something I want to say. This is, I'm gonna step on some toes, but I need to. Like, I see Gary, you're running for school board. You know, it'd be really cool, Gary, if you go up in that school and you do them like, what was Homeboy from Lean on Me? What was that? Morgan Freeman played the role.
Clark.
Joe Clark. That's what we need. And you know, you need to kidnap those kids.
You can't do that as a school board rep.
Well, I mean, what says who? I mean, I understand you have rules, but like, somebody has to go in there and say, hey, here's what you got to do. Because the school system is broken. And you send your kids to school to spend $15,000, $20,000 a year to go to college, and they get out and they don't know what to do. You know what would be better? If you took your kids and you just had them spend the day with you while you hustled. Do that for 3 weeks. Have your kid wake their ass up, fight with you all day, go to work, see how you do it. That's what the school system needs. I don't care who's in the school system, who's on the board. And Gary, I believe they'll do much better with you on it. But you bring some of us behind and says, here's what we're doing. And by the way, you guys, put your money where your mouth is. Like, here's what I'm doing. I'm quick to tell people, here's my E-Trade account. Here's what I got in it. Here's what I own. Here's what I'm trying to do. Here's what I'm doing. And it's all that I know. Like, we have a saying, A students teach, B students work for C students, and the D student owns the company. Period. Because that dude or chick they were the dummy taking the risk. So what if we just, like, I don't have a business plan all the time, but I tell people I do have a business. I just go for it. 8 out of the 10 out of the things that I do, I lose. Say hi to my guest, right? I lose on most of my, they thought I was kidding about Airbnb shit. But most of the things that I try, I lose. 7 out of 10 of the stock options that I buy, I lose money on. But when they win, I win. So some of you guys, we could talk about that. Right now, it is earnings season. Come Airbnb, like Roku, like these companies are reporting. Disney report they lost, so good thing you didn't buy options in that. But like, there's so much money for us. We can. This shirt I'm wearing is from my clothing line, Verbal Herb. I started it with my Joe Biden check. It's like the machine is $600. Spent a few $100s on clothes. Went on and got my website with the Secretary of State or whatever. Registered my company, and that was it. I may not make. Actually, I'm gonna make money with my clothing line. But like, what if we did that? And what if it failed? And what if we tried something else? Because I know a lot of people with a Cricut. By the way, a Cricut is shitty. Get you something else. DM me. I'll get you the right machine. But like, what if you tried something? If you tried 10 things and they failed? What if one thing worked, right? I'll come around home base with this. I was watching Jen Affleck. She about to be, right? Ben and Jennifer, why are they on the news right now? Number one. And then here's what I'm saying about mistakes. It didn't work the first time, they're gonna try it again. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, we can make mistakes. Just keep going. In baseball, if you hit 3 times out of 10, you are a superstar. We need to make mistakes. And Black people, we are the most attractive people on the planet. We are. As a Black man, I cannot walk outside without a white woman or Mexican woman like, up. Listen, the Mandingo, whatever it is they want. We are the most attractive men on the planet. Tall, dark, and handsome. I'm 5'9", handsome and all dark, but still, in my book, that's tall. I'm tall when I stand on my hustle. We all have that. Donovan got it. Gary, no, you got it. So I know Al got it because my sister don't deal with punks. Not anymore.
Not
You
no
know what I'm
more,
saying?
brother. Not no more.
So we should have some fun. We really, you guys, the world is waiting for Black people to own their greatness. When I talk to white people, they love us. They cannot wait to say, oh, we're behind you. In Joshua Tree, you'll see Black Lives Matters in a fist painted on walls everywhere. It ain't a brother in sight. People are behind us. We just have to believe what they believe, that we are the superior race. And the only thing we're missing is self-esteem, connection to our roots, and cash. And not cash in the bank like grandmama, but cash in something that's going to pay us.
Absolutely. So that sounds like a good note to get out of here. So it's been very, very insightful. We appreciate having Walter here every Thursday, dropping wisdom and knowledge. So Walter, put your information in the comment section in case anybody wants to get a hold of you. But I don't have any closing remarks for tonight. I've completely enjoyed this evening, so I'll give it over to Donovan.
Yes, again, I always enjoy Thursdays, and you guys notice that it's one night when Walter is on, I don't speak very much because I have a pen and I have a paper and I'm taking notes. And if we're talking about money on the thing, I'm just looking at the money and listening to what he's saying. And that's how you're going to make it, because we have to listen first. Then we can go get the money from people who understand how to get the money. Everybody's a genius. And the plan works great until somebody punches you in the mouth. So, and we say this in the military a lot, before you could be a great leader, you have to at first be a great follower. So that's just always been my trope. So again, even though I've taken a hit on Bitcoin, hey, I'm letting it ride. It'll come back. So,
man, y'all need to stop with that cryptocurrency shit. Listen, y'all gonna lose. Y'all gonna get killed. Current cryptocurrency is tied to one man, Elon Musk, and I think somebody got to him. They got a picture of him butt naked with a cow or a goat or something, because I have never seen anyone do a 180 like that. Like, man, here's what y'all should be doing. Cryptocurrency, the big boys tell you take 1% of your net worth and put it in cryptocurrency. 1%. Because if cryptocurrency does what it's supposed to do, then 1% will make you rich. Y'all putting 50% of your shit in Dogecoin. Come on now. You guys, you've been going from 40 to 60, 40 to 60. Y'all ain't doing shit. Invest in something. Put your money in a piece of land or somewhere, or even like buying some of these stocks that have been crushed, like Airbnb's down. They're down to 134. That's a tip. It's what I'm doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And crypto is cool. I own Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'm getting ready to buy. My sister literally just texted me, buy Shiba. And one of my other clients was like, yo, you need to buy some Shiba. It's like 1 cent.
Yeah, my niece told me about that. Yeah.
So tomorrow with my crypto.com account, that's a recommendation, crypto.com, I'm going to give them $1,000 and put $1,000 in Shiba. Now, I may not do crap, but if Shiba is ever $2, that's when they're going to be like, damn, remember Walter on the war zone? He disappeared. We can't find him. I'm going to be in Africa, in Ethiopia, matter of fact.
Yeah, but like for my thing, when that Bitcoin went down 15,000, I have two Bitcoins. So I took that $30,000 hit in a day. I took it in a day. I mean, I got sick.
Dummy.
I know, I got sick.
Yeah, that's a Mercedes S550 in 2014, matter of fact. But it'll come back.
My final thoughts are simple. Broke is a state of mind. So knuckle, get your mind right. Say, man, it's the reason we the best in the business. It's the war zone. Every night, 7 o'clock. Facebook and YouTube. And even Clubhouse. Say, I want to thank my good friend Donovan Sadiq. I want to thank the money man Walter. The Queen, Demetria K. And I am the 5-star general. Until tomorrow night, We'll holler at you.